With my media production, I tried to look behind the scenes in the profession of being a radio journalist. I interviewed 3 local radio professionals here in Jyväskylä, Finland, and I asked them how do they face pressure in their job, and the most important thing, how they handle pressure. 3 professionals have each and every one of them done radio for different amount of time. Pertti Perämäki is the veteran of this team. He has been a radio journalist since 1985, so that is over 2 decades. Does he still feel pressure doing his job?
Yes, of course. You must have certain level of that kind of pressure. Otherwise you are not doing it good enough.
When you compare to past, let's say to 80s when you were a young dude and not so experienced in this job, did you feel pressure a different way?
I think I felt more pressure. I think I am able to handle it now.
How have you learned to handle pressure, or how do you handle it these days?
Well, I think it's because you have done this so long time, you got more self-confidence, and that helps you. And you don't feel so bad if you do something wrong, you forgive it yourself. Audience won't kill you.
What kind of message would you send to young people who want to be radio journalists?
Do your best, and after that you must check out how it went.
And maybe you can also say that it's life and mistakes happen.
Yes, you know, if you are too good, gods in India will be angry.
Those were words of a real radio veteran and professional. Aleksis Ärjä has been a radio journalist for almost 10 years. Does he still feel pressure after these years?
Of course there is some pressure always when you are making a live show. But I think it's also good thing to have some pressure, because then you know that your body will give your best, and I think it's also some purpose way you can also enjoy the pressure, because then you know that you can give your best and this emotion is so high, and I know that when I feel some pressure I'm ready to make a great show.
Do you have some kind of different methods or ways what you do before your show?
It depends also of my day, because if I have some time I can go out and perhaps run, or some days I don't have time for that, so I just go to the live show, and you have to be ready in every case.
Last but not least, we have the youngest radio journalist to be heard. His name is Sami Teppola, and he has done this job only for about a year. So his attitudes towards pressure might be quite different than what Pertti and Aleksis just said. Now Sami tells us how he feels pressure.
Not so much anymore. When I started, I really got the pressure like every day, in every day's work, and I was always like, how am I going to survive the next day? But then I somehow got over it, and after that things have been going pretty smooth.
What tips could you give to youngsters who always have wanted to be radio journalists? How do you handle the pressure? How did you learn it?
Be yourself, that's the main point. And then of course everybody has pressure, even if you've done this for like decades. I could presume that everybody still has the pressure, and that gives you the sharpness to do the job. So I don't think I ever want to get rid of the pressure in a certain amount. But of course, what's the worst thing that can happen? You can't die if you make some mistake. So, and mistakes are part of life. And sometimes you do a mistake, sometimes you do a big mistake, but then you get over it.
So now it's time for the final words of my media production. They could be, don't fear pressure. It's totally normal phenomena, and even professionals have to deal with it.